Greetings, and welcome to the first episode of Morrowind Modding Showcases. I'm Thomas Wilberforce III, otherwise known as Dark Elf Guy, and I'll be your narrator this evening as we explore the creations of a number of talented individuals in the Morrowind modding community. As this is the first episode, I ought to explain a few things, but feel free to skip this part by clicking the annotations to the left. Each episode of this series will cover one mod from the Nexus in 11 different categories, as well as the popular mod of the week, defined as over 25 endorsements and being out for over a month, the underrated mod of the week, defined as less than 10 endorsements and being out for over a month, and a blast from the past mod, defined as a mod released between 2010 and 2007. Normally we'll be asking the community to provide us with suggestions for these categories, but as this is the first episode, we've chosen some at random. But don't forget to comment and tell us what mods you'd like to see next week. Now why don't we go ahead and get started. Starting with the popular mod of the week, we have Cult 117's Telvanni Lighthouse for Telvos. This is a lovely atmosphere and immersion mod that adds a perfectly Telvanni looking lighthouse to the northern expanse of the Azores coast region, as you can see here. In the background, you can kind of get an idea of the lighthouse's location with the city of Telmora. The lighthouse is actually closer to Telmora than it is to Telvos, which is an interesting fact. Using some superb landscaping skills, the lighthouse blends in quite naturally with its surroundings, and is also quite the sight to see at night, when it is in full illumination and can be seen throughout the entire expanse surrounding. You can download it at the Nexus in the annotation below, or use the link in the description. Now our house mod of the week is the Lakeside House mod by Brookham's. Lakeside House is a pleasant Halalu style cottage overlooking the shores of Lake Amaya in the Azcatian Isles. It has some cozy furnishings, and has enough space for player storage as well as a little bit of room for display. The house itself though is not without a story, and the history of the home provides an interesting and delightful contrast to the beauty of the house's surroundings. You can download Lakeside House through the annotation below or through the link in the description. For our gameplay effects mod of the week, we have Smart Crosshairs by Adul. This is a simple but wonderfully useful mod that combines the features of 3 other mods into one simple package. Now unless you're interacting with an object or fighting, your crosshairs disappear. In addition, if you're looking at an owned object, your crosshairs will appear red, so you'll know if you're about to steal something, much like in Oblivion. Another feature includes crosshairs in third-person mode, so you can see when you're selecting objects and what you're aiming at. You can download Smart Crosshairs below in the annotation or through the link in the description. For our dungeon mod of the week, we have Terran redone by TrainWiz. And now I'm not really sure how to pronounce Terran, I'm just sort of guessing here. This mod rebuilds Terran from the boring Kagranax library of before that you can see here, to something truly grand and far more deserving of being named after one of the most important Dumiri figures of all time. Included in the rebuilt version are a number of cool new items spanning the shelves and a large number of books that one can imagine the chief architect and philosopher of the Dumiri people must have pored over before the unfortunate disappearance of his race. You can download Terran redone from the Nexus through the annotation below or in the description. Next up is the items mod of the week, and this week we're showing Danae's board games. Whether you're looking for a relaxing game of checkers or a more strategic game of Ludo, this mod has you covered, adding a total of 10 new board games for you to check out, including Monopoly. Come on, Dice, Daddy needs a new hotel in Balmora. While you can't play against the computer with these games, you can use them to decorate your home and add a bit of spice to your overall decor, which is something that's always important in Morrowind housing. You can download these board games over at the Nexus through the annotation below or through the link in the description. For our quest mod of the week, we have the Drunken Mudcrab's East Empire Company expansion. This mod adds 32 new quests to the East Empire Company in Ebonheart. These are mostly fetch-based objectives, at least early on, as the East Empire Company uses you as a glorified courier. But you'll get to go to exciting and exotic locales on your EEC paycheck, and take part in elaborate plots as you labour for the greater glory of the East Empire Company and their massive profits. You can download the EEC expansion via the annotation below, or through the link in the description. For our landmass mod of the week, we're visiting Melkor's Isle of Alnbaldrain. The island itself is fairly small, but beautifully crafted and a truly lovely locale to watch the sun set in the evening. The most notable landmark on the island is the beacon, meant to warn ships of coming too close to shore, and the adjoining shack, meant to be the home of the beacon keeper, though currently it's vacant and open for player residence. The island is also home to a sunken ancestral tomb that should provide some distraction to visiting players. Hopefully they don't get killed like that poor fellow was. Now you can download Alnbaldrain at the Nexus in the annotation below or through the link in the description. This week's NPC mod of the week is Dynamic Morrowind Towns by Bumperlips. What this mod does is add randomly spawned NPCs to the city streets of several towns and cities in Morrowind. Not only are the streets now bustling with traffic, but NPCs behave differently as well. Some NPCs are criminals and will attack you upon approaching, and you'll be forced to defend yourself. Now when you approach NPCs with your weapon drawn, they'll presume that you're attacking them, and they will attack back to try and defend themselves. Now there are a number of mods that add NPCs to cityscapes, but this one should be fully compatible with most of them. You can download this mod on the Nexus through the annotation below or through the link in the description. For our new meshes and textures mod of the week, we have Flash 3113's High-Res Robes mod. This mod replaces many of the robe textures in the game with higher resolution ones. As you can see here, these are what the robes look like without the new textures. And here's what they look like with the new textures. You should be able to see a clear improvement. I know I do. You can download high-res robes from the Nexus through the annotation below or through the link in the description. For our underrated mod of the week, we have Thondor's Dagon Mill. Now, Dagon Mill adds a lovely shop and mill to the waterfront of Dagon, blending in well with the town's natural setting and surroundings. Both the interior and exterior feature many creative details, and the building is quite cozy indeed. The player will find a myriad number of new items to purchase from the mill's owners, including a large array of weapons for sale. You can download Dagon Mill at the Nexus through the link below in the annotation or through the description. This week's Blast from the Past mod is Dalen's hit 2003 quest mod, Trade Disputes. Your journey begins in Genesis, which I'm not really sure is how you pronounce it at all, where rumours run rampant about some trouble with trade negotiations at the nearby Imperial Fort Klamath. A stranger to the area, the player is quickly approached by both sides to find out what the other is hiding. Along your journey, you'll visit the Halcyon Island village of Grybrash, home to a peaceful clan of fishermen orcs. But all is not quite as it seems, and both the Imperials and the Orcs are withholding the truth, and both intend actions that would be perhaps ill-perceived by the other party. Discover the mysteries of Guybrush Island and Fort Klamath for yourself, and this 2006 Hall of Fame winner mod, Trade Disputes. A download link is included in the annotation below, and also in the description. We have a bonus mod this week, Gasoline's Hagranat Flying Fortress. This mod adds a rather large and lavish flying city above Dagon Fell, including player housing, several buildings, an airship, and even a tavern. The exterior is a little hard on FPS, due to the sheer number of objects and face count that were used to build this flying city. And as you can probably tell, depending on what direction you're looking on, your FPS is going to tank pretty badly, as you can see here. Player housing can be found in the central compound, which includes several very atmospheric and cozy rooms for the player to inhabit, as you can see here. And there's some very beautiful waterfalls there in the background as well. Many of the buildings on display here are custom built with vanilla game models to create a unique architectural style for the city. You can download Hagranat Flying Fortress at the Nexus through the annotation below or through the link in the description. That concludes our Morrowind Modding Showcases for this week. Thanks for watching, and do tune in next Saturday for episode 2 of this series. Don't forget to submit your comments and suggestions for what mods should be included next week. And do give us a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.